Hello, fam, and welcome back to another edition of George's Corner. I'm your host, George Lee Jones. Let's get started. I wanted to talk to you today about a conversation that I've had with a few people over the last couple of weeks, but wasn't quite sure how to broach this subject. It's the subject of relationships, but with a twist from what you're probably normally used to. I was thinking about this, and ironically, it came from watching an episode of National Geographic's Planet Earth. And what I realized in watching the animals and how they went about their daily routines and their seasonal courtships and mating, I realized that animals live by instinct. People, on the other hand, live by intuition. For example, animals have a set time when they're in heat or they're mating. Human beings, it's an ongoing situation. Animals don't have relationships. It's just part of the functioning of their species. With us, we have relationships. And because we're spiritual beings in a human body, it made me really think for a second. Animals are instinctual, based upon a set of norms or patterns that they have, and people live their lives based on intuition, which is feelings. Now, follow me with this, because when I'm talking with people a lot about relationships, I hear men being upset with women because of how they are. Women, conversely, being upset with men because of how they are. Well, what I discovered in these interactions is this, and I want to share this with you, and I hope you get it. A man is no more a dog than a woman is a bitch. Okay? Hear this again. A man is no more a dog than a woman is a bitch. Okay. What made me come up and think of that is with everything, there is a yin and yang or positive, negative. Now, let me explain that. As a man, and I'm one, we typically approach life from a rational or logical point of view. Now, I'm not going to say all, I'm going to say most, because I don't want to generalize and have extremes on either end. On the flip side, most women tend to view things from an emotional or feeling base. And that's great because we need the opposites for the attraction. So I now understand opposites attracting. It's not really what you think. It's not like you a missionary and you attract a crackhead. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is in order for there to be any equilibrium or balance, a man has to take it upon himself to step outside of himself and start looking at life and looking at things from a more emotional or feeling state. Because when he does that, then he'll understand the opposite sex. In which case, I would say to anyone, before you even ready to be in a relationship, get friends or acquaintances of the opposite sex so that you can start understanding their motivations, I guess you could say. Because with women, you tend to think, well, he's not listening. Well, because he's not wired that way. So since he's not wired that way, then maybe you can teach him how you respond to him in a positive way so there's not constant friction. Just think about that for a moment. As a woman, if you're always doing things with feeling and emotion, you're tapping into your heart. A man who his motivation is logistics, rationale. So he's approaching life with his mind. So, what brings those things together to make them one? Because as the woman, you possess what I don't have as a man, and I as a man have what you don't possess. So we bring the head, the heart together in one house, makes for an excellent oneness. And then we can start learning and understanding one another. Because here's the thing that I discovered. You can't appreciate sunshine without knowing that rain could be around the corner. You can't possibly be ecstatic, blissful, without having a little bit of sorrow or pain in your life. Thus, the yin and the yang of life. You can't really experience anything without knowing its opposite. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And if you think in terms of your relationships, I believe you'll get it. You'll say, hey, you know what? He's not like me. And then he may say, well, she's not like me. Let me understand her perspective or point of view. Let me understand his perspective or point of view. And then when you do that, there's a meeting of the mind and the heart. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy with his own perspective. I'm just trying to help you see things from a different perspective. Case in point, I said to someone the other day, because I was thinking about this. When you have a fresh relationship and you come together, the first thing you want to do, besides, I guess you could say, looking across from each other with googly eyes, the next question that comes out of one person or the other's mouth is, tell me about yourself. Who are you? And it occurred to me, call me crazy, but who I am is exactly who you are, with a different perspective on my journey in life. I know that sounds probably a little crazy to you, but if you really think about it, we all live life on this physical plane. But as I have said and espoused before, I believe we're all spiritual beings experiencing a tangible physical world. So with that being the case, we're all spirit, come from one body, but many members. Do we not all have the same story, but we just see things a little differently from one another? That's all. I'm just hoping that I trigger something in you to make you think. As I've said before, life is exactly the way you define it. If you define it as hard, it will be one of the most difficult trips you will ever take. But if your approach to life is, this is an amazing amusement park, I want to get on every ride possible, that's what it's going to be. Because you're going to go from one ride to the next ride, and you're not going to like them all. But you're going to have some amazing, wonderful experiences on a few of those that are going to last you for the rest of this limited lifetime that you have on this physical plane. So, in terms of the question, who am I? I am simply you looking at life from a different perspective. That's all. Do with it what you will, but I think that's going to help a lot of you who are having relationship issues and problems. Utilize what I've said before. Communication, which is not just having conversation, but it also means comprehension. Am I understanding what you're saying to me? Are you understanding what I'm saying to you? Love life, and life will love you back. Embrace the universe, and the universe will embrace you back. Don't be your own blockage. Free yourself, free your mind. And no, I'm not going to say that because I know what you're looking for. Just free your mind. Live open, radically free. And that's all I have to say today. As always, please love yourselves. Be great and kind to others. And oh yes, always, always be learning something new. Until next time, fam, I'm your host. Love you guys. I love life. Mwah. Take care.